Chair, there's under the apologies, it's Imran Kika here.
Yes, Dr.
It is
Kika.
incorrect. It is incorrect that I was on leave. I was also on the CPA at Barbados with the other honorable members.
Yes. Thanks. Rectify that. Okay, those are the minutes. Move for the adoption. Adoption of the minutes. Honorable Mavimbela.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Greetings to your good self and honorable members, Chairpersons, the officials. I move for the adoption of the minutes as the true reflection of our previous minutes meeting with the amendment that have been made.
Thank you. Moved. Any seconder? Honorable Biela.
Good morning, Chair, colleagues. I wish to second that. Thank you.
Thank you. Move to item number 7, which is new matters. 7.1, committee stakeholder and public engagement. Mr. Nzuza.
Stakeholder session
Honorable Chair,
Chairperson?
Honorable Chairperson,
Yes.
it's Nontembeko. I think I have a problem with audibility of Mr. Nzuza, even in the previous presentation he made. I'm not sure whether it's me alone online, but if he can check his voice projection, please.
Okay, let's check now.
Chair, I'd like to second Honourable Speaker. Thank you. I also am struggling to hear him. It's Honourable Dem.
Okay, thank you. Let's check now.
Yeah, we hear you, Chair. It's Mr. Nzuza that we do not hear, that I do not hear. Everyone else, including the honourable members that were seconding and moving, I was able to hear them.
Okay, thank you. I also am struggling.
Okay, let's is the audible now?
Is he speaking now, Chair?
He is
I will-
not speaking, Chair.
Yes, we are not hearing him now. I'm not hearing him now.
Okay, he's changing mics.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. May I please receive feedback if I'm now audible?
Usukhohlwa-ke manje mshazi. Ngikuzwa
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think our mics do need their attention. We will take care of them. We'll advise our unit on facilities to attend to them. The document that we are presenting is a proposal that is about implementing the program that appears in the adopted legislature calendar for the month of December. The program being the committee stakeholder sessions. In terms of the processes of the legislature, that is the programs, that is the program within which our committees are able to influence budgeting and planning by departments. And they make use of the opportunity to ensure that members of the public also receive presentations on what departments have planned to deliver in the next financial year. And we have prepared the proposed districts where committees might have to hold their stakeholder sessions. Consideration has been given to where the committee has been as of 2020. The understanding is that all departments, they have services that they deliver throughout the province. Hence, a committee may not have a district where they say they cannot go to. We have largely looked at the rotation more than anything. We did not take into account the programs that maybe a committee may have focused on. However, we're looking at the rotation so that any particular committee by end of a particular period will have been able to go throughout the province. Just to make use of the example, we have sport, arts and culture that is reflecting as the first one on our screen. In 2020, it held this session in Umgungundlovu. In 2021, it went to Ilembe. In 2022, it went to INGCUGCE. We did not have the stakeholder sessions in 2023 due to the then scaling down program. And in 2024, last year, it was in Herigwala. And we are now proposing that this year, it can go to INGCUGCE. We are maintaining the same principles in respect of all committees. We are reflecting as part of the fourth column, the actual date by when the stakeholder session of the committee is programmed. I do need to indicate that for next year, the calendar has not yet been adopted by the program committee. However, working from the draft that the program committee is yet to consider, and considering that our January month is mainly for school functionality monitoring, and we are able to fit in such programs as this one. We are proposing that the 16th of January continue as the stakeholder session for those indicated committees. For agriculture and rural development, the proposal is Umzinyati district. For the finance committee, the proposal is Ilembe. The environmental affairs is Herigwala. Human settlements is proposed to be at Uku. Education is proposed to be at Amajuba. Premier Community Safety and Liaison, that committee is focusing on 2 votes. Hence, we are requesting that regarding one of the votes, the committee will have to go to INGCUGCE, that being a focus on vote 1, Office of the Premier. And when it comes to community safety, it then goes to Ilembe. For economic development and tourism, we are proposing eThekwini. For social development, we are proposing Uthukela district. Public works, we are proposing Umgungundlovu. Health, we are proposing Zululand. Transport, we are proposing Amajuba, and the Portfolio Committee on Caucus, we are proposing Uku. This program that focuses on the APPs and budgets are the programs that are applicable to portfolio committees. Hence, the standing committees will not be featuring. That is the proposal, Chair, for consideration by the committee. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Honorable Dlungwane.
Yeah, Chair, I think let's note the presentation. My bit of a challenge is that there are clashes that one notices here. I had thought that when this is being designed, a cluster must not have two similar dates. Because, for instance, in the case of finance and premier, there's a clash. So we might have some of the these meetings, you know, being exhausted, really having very few of members attending. I do not know whether that's the intention. I'm worried about that, Chair. Thank you.
Thanks. That is noted. Any other comment? Yes.
No, Chair, I see that the finance is on the 15th and the premier is 16th. It's not the same day.
Okay. No, it's noted. Any other comment? Nzuza.
Thank you, Chair. I think the point that Honorable Lungwana is raising is the distances between the two districts. If chairpersons allow, can we be allowed to go from such that there is adequate travel time from one district to the other so that they don't follow each other? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. That is fine. Moving from that, we are going straight to reports by chairpersons for July to September 2025 committee performance. We'll start at SCOPA. Honorable Professor. You are not audible, and can we see your face?
Chairperson, can you see me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Proceed.
Chairperson, you can see me. I'm in my car. I'm on the road to Opongolo for a triple P program.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I'll turn my camera off just for bandwidth, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you. Chairperson, yes, I'm going to be very brief because I don't know how my signal will last. The Standing Committee for Public Accounts in the last quarter took a briefing from the Auditor General of South Africa in preparation for the October hearings. That was completed. We also took a briefing from the Provincial Department of Treasury on unauthorized expenditure, and we adopted unauthorized expenditure in the House, and we are currently busy with our October SCOPA hearings. Chairperson, if I may, the Standing Committee for the Scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation, we are still awaiting the benchmarking exercise with the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. We had set up a date for that, but unfortunately, the Gauteng Provincial Legislature had to withdraw, and we are awaiting a future date to get that process going. And that is the report for those two committees. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Good morning to your good self, honorable members and colleagues. Honorable Chairperson, I'll be giving a report for the Standing Committee on the Quality of Life for the period under review, which is the 1st of July to the 30th of September, in line with the annual oversight plan of the Standing Committee. Firstly, under sectorial parliaments, the committee was able to successfully convene and host the 2025 Women's Parliament from the 7th to the 8th of August 2025 at INGCUGCE Mzondeli Hall, Kwamsani, within the INGCUGCE Mtubatuba local municipality under Mkhanyakude district municipality. As we are all aware that this is a flagship event which brought together women from across the province to deliberate on the theme women empowerment as the pillar of building a resilient and inclusive economy. The Parliament served as a platform for reflection, dialogue, and accountability on matters affecting women, particularly the economic participation, gender equality, and social inclusion. The committee, as a build-up and preparation for the Women's Parliament, held a series of planning meetings, which then culminated into the successful hosting of the 2025 Women's Parliament. As part of oversight and in line with the committee's mandate, the committee convened a meeting on the 6th of August 2025, focusing on women's economic empowerment initiatives in the Office of the Premier, the Department of Social Development, as well as the Department of Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs. The engagements provided valuable insight into the current interventions, the budget allocations, and the impact of existing programs. The committee further identified areas requiring strengthening collaboration as well as monitoring. For oversight, the committee conducted an oversight visit to a women-owned agricultural enterprise that has benefited from youth empowerment initiatives under the Office of the Premier. The name of the project that the committee visited is a Yesihlahla Farm Project, which is located in Ward 8, Umlalazi local municipality, King Edward district. The visit was conducted on the 26th of August 2025. The objective of this visit was to assess the project's operations, sustainability, and level of institutional, as well as the technical support provided by the government of KwaZulu-Natal. The oversight visit was also able to enable the committee to observe progress made, as well as identify operational challenges and explore the opportunities for enhanced government support to ensure the long-term viability of women-owned enterprises in rural communities. In conclusion, Honorable Chairperson, the Quality of Life Standing Committee continues to make meaningful progress in carrying out its oversight and public participation responsibilities. The committee remains committed to improving the quality of life of vulnerable groups through effective oversight, advocacy, and collaboration with relevant stakeholders. The committee is continued support, resource allocation, and interdepartmental coordination will be essential to sustain the committee's impact and ensure that its oversight translates into tangible improvements in the lives of the vulnerable groups in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson.
Chair, we can't hear.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Honorable, okay. Triple P, Honorable de Klerk.
Thank you, Chair. I will read the report for Triple P. May I proceed? Okay, thank you. Public Participation and Petition Standing Committee Performance Report, July 2025 to September 2025. The Standing Committee on Public Participation and Petitions is a legislature committee established in terms of the provisions of Rule 202 of the Standing Rules of the Legislature. This report provides a synopsis of the activities undertook by Triple P Standing Committee during July to September 2025 period. Subject, oversight and feedback on petitions. The committee has received both individual petitions and group petitions. The petitions were processed according to the prescript of the Petition Act. One of the objectives of the committee is to improve effectiveness of petition management by scrutinizing petitions and conduct feedback visits to the petitioners. A, the committee inherited a petition from the previous term. The petition was regarded to an outcry of grade R practitioners which were calling the legislator to intervene on the matter between the KZN grade R practitioners and the Department of Education on the following. The department to acknowledge the qualification and being paid according to their qualification. The government to fully employ qualified practitioners. The government to make retirement provisions. The committee is pleased to report that after several engagements with the Department of Education, the department reported that they have started absorbing 500 qualified practitioners. Therefore, the P committee met on the 15th of August to close the petition. The committee has conducted feedback meetings in the following petitions. I pronounce that. That one is a bit difficult for me, but I've been assisted by my colleague. Otaka and the Western Shores of Zululand and INGCUGCE district on the 18th and 19th September 2025. Lastly, the challenges. The committee has a challenge of scheduled slots in the calendar, reason being it clashes with governance committees, which sits on the same day, and that hinders the committee from going out to petitioners. The P committee requires in future its slot should be a standalone. It was signed by Honourable Nkanyana, 23rd October this year. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah. Thank you. If there are any honourable members, any comments, I will see by the show of hands. Let's move to Rules Committee, followed by Programs Committee.
Thank you, Chair. I am sure it will be, the reports will be shared. We will start with the Standing Committee on Rules, and we just want to go
see your
straight-
face.
This is me, Chair, and I am where there is a bit of lack of network. Thank you, Chair.
You're hiding in the corner. Oh, yeah, we're fine. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair. Now, Chair, we will go back to the report, and we will go straight to what we have done, because mostly the Rules Committee meets when and if there is a need, and we have now planned the meeting that is going to be on the 4th and 5th of November, which is a joint workshop on the rules, so that members of the committee can be taken through the rules that were adopted and changed last year, together with the areas that may have lacunas in the rules according to the interpretation of the members, and if there is a need for a project to review the rules, then out of that workshop we will be able to determine by bringing it back to the leadership of the institution. And this meeting is scheduled, Chair, to also include the program committee, and that is so that we afford also the members of the whips of committees in the legislature, the whips of parties in the legislature, an opportunity to be fully all part of the reinduction on the rules, and also going through the rules and understanding the relationship between the rules and the programming of the legislature. We are having that workshop on the 4th and 5th of November 2025, and we want to say that we are still a committee that is supposed to be available at any given time, and we are available at any given time if the House so directs us to deal with issues that relate to rules. Thank you, Chair. We will go to the next one, which is the Standing Committee on the Program, or the Program Committee, which also Manjangase will also share. Is that, Chair, we are still constituted fine. There have been changes, of course, like the rest of the committees that have been we have had, but mostly they come from one party, Chair. most of the parties still have the same members that they had at the beginning. And insofar as the work of the program committee, we are still led properly by Office of Chairperson of Committees.
Thank you. Speaker.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chair, for a connectivity break. And when there is a need for a change, it's still there. But we have got also some few events that we have had that required decision for ratification. Firstly, it was the NCOP Provincial Week will be accommodated on the dates as determined by the NCOP. You'd remember that earlier on there was a NCOP week that was scheduled but was cancelled by the NCOP. And also including us having to reschedule the two-day workshop for the joint rules and programming, which has been accommodated accordingly. Then there is finance media reviews, which are on the 18th, 20 and 21 November, which the Finance Portfolio Committee may not have finalized at the time of submitting the report, finalized its schedule, getting which department or entities will appear on the specified dates. However, it is also recommended that the members of the Finance Portfolio Committee proceed with the media hearings as planned, regardless of us as the program committee not having this schedule. We want to clarify that we recommend that they continue after they had done that in committee, and that is critical because of the final sittings of the year, which are running from 25 to 28 November, which will require the committee to table the report on the mid-year reviews. Also, Chair, we have those dates of 25 to 28, which is almost the entire week, but the Whips Forum is free to compress them to lesser than those full days. But the scale that is provided is for them to use those dates, but they are at liberty, Chair, depending on what they put on the order paper to end those meetings before the 28th. And all members that are not, we are requesting that members that are not in the Finance Portfolio Committee participate in the NCOP Provincial Week, because it seems that it's going to be clashing with the days of the finance media reviews. On civic voter education, we have had a change, Chair, as you had seen that it was supposed to go elsewhere along the way. We have had few changes. Changes are usually necessitated by one of the stakeholders, which we have seen that is key in our presence, which is Home Affairs. So the program now is now on the 12th of November, that was scheduled for 26th of November 2025 in Ward 17 of Emandeni local municipality. As we move down, Mantangas. And those are all the new dates of the civic education. But there is a date that coincides with the scrutiny of subordinate legislation, and we are still recommending that the scrutiny of subordinate legislation be allowed to continue on the 12th of November, regardless of us having the civic voter education check, so that we do not hold committees when there are these others that are necessitated by external factors. We do not hold back committees. What we may have missed on the report, Chair, is that we have realized that there is an omission of the slot of the Women's Caucus, following us having moved one that was scheduled for the 19th of November. We are going to be finalizing that outside this meeting, Chair, and we have to ensure that the Women's Caucus is also provided with its slots. Thank you so much, Chair. We are also going to that workshop as the program committee to really understand our role, especially when it comes to the issues of clashes and changing of dates by the chairperson of the program committee in line with the rules, and see if there is a need to strengthen the rules. Thank you so much, Chair. Chair, I'm done.
Oh, thank you. We now have Whips Forum followed by Multiparty Women's Caucus.
Thank you, Chair. I'm going to be presenting the Whips Forum as the Chief Whip is in an area where his bandwidth is problematic. The Whips Forum is a committee in the KZN Legislature, obviously chaired by the Chief Whip, comprising party whips from all political parties that are represented, as well as representation of minority parties. And the forum seeks to ensure seamless coordination of legislative priorities, oversight of operational matters, and logistical support for members. This report attached outlines the forum's activities and resolutions during the 7th term of office. But as we're talking about the second quarter, I'm going to go to the second quarter meetings which have taken place, which, if that is okay, Chairperson, we are reporting from July. So it takes us on to page 4 of the report. In August, on the 13th of August, there was a WIPS meeting. It was in a hybrid format. The proposed legislature sitting program for the remainder of the year was tabled, considered, and adopted. A feedback report on facilities for members with special needs was presented and deliberated upon. And the forum further engaged on matters relating to sectoral parliaments, the status of provincial bills, and NCOP matters. And all the related reports were duly noted. On the 10th of September 2025, there was a meeting. It was held virtually via Microsoft Teams. Progress and updates on facilities for members with special needs were presented and discussed, and amendments to the legislature sitting program were adopted, while standing items were noted. On the 15th of October, there was a special meeting. A special WIPS forum meeting was convened. It was in a virtual format to consider and deliberate on new requests pertaining to facilities for members with special needs. An empowerment workshop has been held in 2024. And then to conclude, the WIPS Forum has continued to fulfill its mandate during the 7th term and during this quarter, addressing logistical, procedural, and operational challenges while ensuring smooth legislative processes. Central to the responsibilities of the forum is the adoption and oversight of the legislature sitting program, which underpins an organized and efficient legislative calendar. Through its strategic meetings, sectoral engagements, and empowerment initiatives, the forum has reaffirmed its commitment to fostering collaboration and excellence within the KwaZulu-Natal legislature. The report highlights the forum's integral role in sustaining an efficient and cohesive legislative environment. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mahlaba.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The Multiparty Women's Caucus comprises all women members of the KwaZulu-Natal legislature across all political parties. The caucus was established in terms of Rule 210 on the 21st of November 2024. The purpose of this report is to provide an overview of the work undertaken by the Multiparty during the period under review. The functions and powers of the Multiparty Women's Caucus are as reflected in the standing rules of the legislature. I'm not going to go through each. The focus areas for the Women's Caucus is capacity building, women empowerment, especially on the SDG 5, gender-based violence and femicide, gender responsive planning and budgeting, international and regional empowerment programs. The stakeholders that they working with the Women's Caucus has a relationship with the national parliament traditional leadership structures, civil society, as well as internal partners, including portfolio committees. It is critical for Women's Caucus to network and within those lobby, advocate and mobilize women and men around activities promoting gender equality. The Multiparty Women's Caucus also actively established and strengthened relations with academic institutions in pursuit of its mandate. On the strategic partnership, in 2022, the KwaZulu-Natal Multiparty Women's Caucus formed a notable partnership with the Democracy Development Program. The DDP is a non-governmental organization which has a parliamentary program as one of its pillars. DDP provides capacity building to members of the Multiparty Women's Caucus. The partnership has greatly benefited the caucus in terms of cost saving as well as resources. The DDP has facilitated exchange visits. The Multiparty also has established working relations with the following institutions, government departments and government entities: University of KwaZulu-Natal, Durban University of Technology, Mangosuthu University of Technology, Commission on Gender Equality, Department of Justice, Legal Aid South Africa, South African Human Rights Commission, Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disability, KZN Office of the Premier, Office on the Status of Women, that's Unity. Also, the Women's Caucus has held a Women Economic Empowerment Program on the 19th of August 2025. The aim of it was to celebrate August as Women's Month. The Multiparty held a capacity building workshop for the women entrepreneurs of Herigwala District Municipality. The event took place at Kokstad Town Hall on the 19th of August. Women informal traders and women who own SMMEs from the following municipalities: Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, Greater Kokstad, Johannes Pumlani Pungula Local Municipality, Umzimkhulu Local Municipality. The event was a resounding success as more than 200 women were in attendance. The Women's Caucus of Herigwala District also graced the event. In partnership, the Women's Caucus the Women's Caucus has partnership with the Presidency and the National Empowerment Fund. The workshop forms part of the Presidential Women's Economic Empowerment Program, a national initiative dedicated to providing women entrepreneurs, start-up founders and informal traders with skill, resources and network they need. After that workshop, the skills that the women got, it was business compliance, procurement strategies, marketing skills, financial literacy, accessing funding opportunities, tools needed for business success, tender readiness skills, communication and negotiation, customer service, networking, business planning, and emotional intelligence. This workshop also, there was a young lady at the between 20s and 30s that was part, and they got the voucher to assist that particular lady to continue with the business. In conclusion, the Women's Caucus is committed in empowering women in the legislature and their counterparts in political structures while ensuring that the plight of the ordinary women and gender equality is addressed. Thanks, Chair. This is a committee of more than 30 members, not 11.
Okay, super committee. Okay. No, siyabonga, super committee. We'll move to ethics, privileges, and then followed by Premier, Community Safety and Liaison, and then Stakov after that.
Chairperson? Am I visible and audible?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Good morning to the Chairperson and honorable members. Chair, this is going to be a very, very quick report. As we are all aware that the Ethics Committee only sits ad hocly, but we've decided to sit every 3 months. And the committee was established in terms of the Rule 117, where the Deputy Speaker is a chairperson. The main function of the committee is to conduct inquiries into matters relating to complaints of brief of privilege and contempt raised against members and report to the House thereof. Therefore, the committee has held another meeting that was online on the 10th of September via Microsoft Teams, and the purpose was to receive an update on the process of appointment of an integrity commissioner, which is still ongoing. The committee therefore also resolved to form a subcommittee that will deal with the processes and report back to the full committee thereafter, and that subcommittee will be the one to do the appointment of the integrity officer, report to the full committee, and then to the Speaker, and then to the House. Thank you so much, Chairperson. That brings me to the end of my report.
Thank you. Next, Premier, followed by Stakov, and then Agriculture and Rural Development.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. I wish to read and deliver the Premier and Community Safety and Liaison Portfolio Committee report on behalf of Honorable Fraser, who has sent an apology to the meeting. Thank you, Chairperson. The Portfolio Committee on Premier, Community Safety and Liaison, having considered and deliberated on the budget vote, the annual performance plan and quarterly performance report of 2 votes, vote 1 and vote 9, wishes to report as follows. The committee considered the department's annual performance plan and the budget for 2025-2026 on the 22nd of July 2025 after being retabled. The committee budget report was compiled, adopted and tabled in the House on the 24th of July 2025. In terms of the report on quarterly performance report, the 2024-2025 fourth quarter report was submitted by both departments timeously. The committee received the briefings through analysis reports by the support team. The 2 departments presented the reports before the committee, and the engagement was done. The committee considered the 24-25 fourth quarter on the 1st of August 2025 for vote 1 and the Zulu Royal Household Trust, as well as vote 9 on the 12th of August 2025. The 2025-26 first quarter report was submitted by the Office of the Premier. The analysis was done and the Portfolio Committee received briefings from the support team. The department presented the report before the committee and the engagement was done. The committee considered the 25-26 first quarter report on the 12th of August 2025. In terms of oversight, the committee undertook oversight visits to Ingwavuma Police Station in the INGCUGCE district on the 27th of August 2025, which was overwhelmingly attended. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. That is the report from the Premier and Community Safety. Thank you.
Stakov.
Thank you, Chair. A report on the Standing Committee of Oversight. Introduction. The Standing Committee on Oversight plays a critical role in ensuring accountability and transparency within the KZN Legislature. Vote 2. The committee is responsible for exercising oversight over budget expenditure, the implementation of annual performance targets and the annual reports of the Legislature. The Portfolio Committee on Oversight was appointed on 6 August 2024 at a meeting and held in the Legislative Main Chamber. The committee commenced with its work on the same day. Performance information of the committee, the meeting held on the 20th of August 2025, the head of the department for the KZN Provincial Treasury presented a comprehensive presentation covering the legislative budget compilation process. The presentation included historical budget reviews and application of zero-based budgeting, the budget process and stakeholders' engagement, a comparative analysis of provincial legislatures, recommendations for budget improvements, additional funding requests. The committee deliberated extensively and adequately and fairness of the current budget allocation, adequacy and fairness of the current budget allocation to the legislator. Concerns were raised regarding ongoing budget cuts and the potential to compromise the legislature core constitutional mandates, including oversight, lawmaking and public participation. It was noted that the KZN legislature faces unique challenges due to the size of the province and the geographic spread, which warranted special consideration in budget allocations when compared to other provinces. In response, KZN Provincial Treasury highlighted its administrative role in the requirement for an MEC level engagement to pursue matters such as stop slicing and more equitable allocations. A request of condonation of 1.2 million unauthorized expenditure. The committee noted with concerns the request of condonation of 1.2 million for the unauthorized expenditure. The reason for this expenditure is related to a fraud case involving an employee who had activated over 100 unauthorized cell phone contracts, resulting in an unauthorized expenditure of 1.2 million over a period of 2 years. The matter was uncovered through internal audits. All recovery efforts failed as per the report that was tabled. The only recommendation was to write off the amount using under expenditure from the current financial year. B, 2024-2025 closeout report and 25-26 first quarter budget performance report financials. The closeout report for 24-25 and the first quarter budget performance report for 25-26 was presented highlighting the under expenditure which was recorded due to the delayed budget processing, scaling down of operations during 2024 elections and accruals accounting timing difference. The committee reaffirmed its previous resolution that no further scaling down of legislative activity should occur during election periods, as this interrupts with the programs of the legislator. Furthermore, to strengthen the internal controls to prevent recurrence of financial misconduct and to ensure effective planning and alignment of expenditure to avoid underperformance. C, 25-26 first quarter institutional performance report, non-financial. Performance overview. It was noted that all 16 performance plans targets scheduled for the quarter was achieved. One target relating to finance hearing was repeated due to the withdrawal and retabling of the appropriation bill. The committee was assured that the expenditure was minimized through the use of virtual hearings. Committee resolution. The committee resolved to recommend the approval of the request for condonation of the 1.2 million rand unauthorized expenditure caused by the debt write-off in the 23-24 financial statements, the year in which the legislature overspent on the allocated budget. The approved unauthorized expenditure is to be charged against the legislator 24-25 underspending in line with section 20 in brackets 4 of the FMPPLA FAPLA. The committee resolved that the unauthorized expenditure be approved for condonation, and in the conclusion, the report highlights the progress performed thus far of the STUCF committee and also serves as a testament of our commitment and dedication in fulfilling the duties assigned to the committee. Thank you.
followed by Economic Development and Environmental Affairs.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. It's a report of the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. This report is an account of the activities of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development, covering the period of from 1st of July 2025 to 30th of September 2025 of the 2025-26 financial year. The focus is mainly on the critical activities which have defined the work of the committee during this period. On consolidation of the final 2025-26 APP and budget, it should be recalled that the above process was not finalized in the first quarter, as it was brought to a halt when the Division of Revenue Bill and the Provincial Appropriation Bill were withdrawn. In the second quarter, these bills were reintroduced after revision, with the result that the consultation of the 2025-26 APP and budget had to be done again. Due to this development, the committee held its budget hearing on the 22nd of July 2025. Prior to the budget hearing, the committee had received a briefing on the financial and non-financial reports, respectively. The 2025 APP analysis by the senior researcher highlighted that there were some changes that had to be made. When it was the department's turn to table the 2025-26 APP and budget, it took the committee through the changes, which it indicated were technical and there were reasons for those changes. It was emphasized by the department that the changes had not resulted in the change of budget. After discussions, the committee voted in support of the budget's 2025-26 APP and budget by a simple majority. On the 23rd of July 2025, the committee held a meeting during which the committee's budget was adopted. On the fourth quarter performance report, on the 6th of August 2025, the committee held a meeting to consider the fourth quarter report of the department. Due to the programming congestion, the committee had not been able to meet the first quarter for the consideration of the fourth quarter report from the department. The committee then had its meeting on the 15th of August 2025 to consider the department's first quarter report, empowered by the analysis reports, both financially and non-financially. The committee was able to interrogate the performance of the department and in its exercise of oversight over the department. On committee meetings on the 30th of September 2025, the committee held a meeting with the department. What had informed the meeting was the committee's resolution that the department should provide comprehensive reports on the following: on Bambanana Apato project. We wanted a clear work plan with clear timeframes because it has been a long outstanding matter. Then the second one was on the update report on the foot and mouth disease outbreak. The third one was on the report on the rationalization process of the entity of the department, ADA. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson.
Okay. Economic Development followed by Environmental Affairs.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm trying to allow my gadget to allow you to see me. I don't know if you can see me, Chair.
No. Can hear you, can't see you.
Okay, no. I'll try that along, Chair. But if you can permit, I can go through my report with your permission, or should I keep on trying? I'm trying this thing.
You can proceed.
It's saying settings, Chair. So sorry for my apology for that. No, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. We are, of course, presenting a report on behalf of Economic Development and Tourism, which is established in terms of Rule 195. And of course, the report to the Chair of Committee, and its responsibility is to deal with them. Performing oversight over the Department of Economic Development, and then deal with lawmaking, and then ensure that the public is involved in the work, of course, of the department. Honorable Chair, we are presenting the report which cover the period of the 1st of July 2025 to the 30th of September 2025. And this report will then highlight the work done by the committee in this particular period. We want to start with the fact, the consideration that in second quarter, so Chair, the reconsideration of APP and the budget of the department, of course, after this was withdrawn initially by the national government, and we had to redo it. And on the 23rd of July 2025, the committee then had its meeting where the department reported to us that there was literally no material change on both the APP and the budget. After reconsidering that, the committee then re-adopted that. We are reporting, Chair, that on the 29th of August, the committee had its normal monthly committee to consider the department first quarter report, where we interrogated that and performance of the department. We are then dealing with the fact that the committee have had about 3 special meetings outside its ordinary meeting. That is on the 15th of July 2025, we had a meeting, Chair, where we were dealing with the matters that arose when we were dealing with or doing oversight on Impend and Msunduzi municipality. We had then to do a follow-up visit. And then we had to do a special meeting to deal with that. And then on the 12th of September, we had a meeting with KZN ERA. And then again on the 23rd of September, we re-invited ERA and then KZN Tourism. When reporting on oversight in this period under review, Chair, we have conducted an oversight in Dubecrate Port, and this oversight was on the 29th of August 2025, and then it dealt with reviewing projects in that particular area, which I must indicate, Chair, they are doing quite an impressive work. In fact, Dubecrate Port is one of the well-respected state-owned entities in the country, and most people or most other legislature want to come and then view how they are succeeding in running that. We then, Chair, report on our meeting on a focused intervention study, the meeting that dealt with our focused intervention study, where we have received a report from the senior researcher which was in fact our second report as it relates to our focus intervention, which I must indicate had been very fruitful in the sense that we intervened or we adopted it when there was a noise about spaza shops, and then the department was not meeting people's demand, or they made promises and they were not met. And then after we have adopted this particular FIS, then the department started responding positively. On top of that, Chair, I must indicate, even if it's not here in the report, that we then wanted to extend this to also include liquor outlets, and this is as a result of our last meeting. We then, Chair, deal with our support on entity and monitoring, and then we indicate that what we have already indicated, that we have met ERA, we have also met tourism industry, and our first part of the meeting with them was to basically deal with the manner in which how they deal with liquor licensing, particularly in light of the fact that, Chair, we have observed that many liquor shops now, including in township, are owned by foreign nationals. And then we then seek a report on this particular area, and we are following up. And then that is why we'll then extend our work on spaza shop to also include the liquor shop. We also indicate, Chair, that what we have already indicated, that we have also met Tube Trade Port, and then there is good work. We then finally, Chair, deals with the committee intervention and its particular impact. We are of the view that the committee where it's work, there is drastic impact. For example, we highlight the fact that in Bend and Sundus, there were projects that were literally on standstill, and then the department wanted to withdraw funds, and then we intervened, and after that intervention, there were injection of funds, not only from the provincial department, but also the commitment from the national department. And out of that particular work, there has been drastic progress. Chair, that's the end of our report. But Chair, I also want, through permitted by you, of course, to indicate that in the last sitting, there was a report that highlighted the fact that both agriculture and economic development and tourism are not meeting resolution. Chair, I must indicate that I do not know what then is a way to correct that, but we are of the view that our committee follows all recommendations, and out of 15, we have now delivered about 12 recommendation, and normally they are given the last previous report, they usually around 2 or 3 resolutions. We had about 15, and we have implemented fully about 12. We are implementing about 3. But the fact that I was not in your meeting, and sorry for that, I was on the trip as indicated by the minute. Then I do not know what happened, but the report was not submitted. I just want to highlight it's not the fault of this committee, but I thought it's essential that I highlight that, Honorable Chair. Thank you.
Thanks. Let's have environmental affairs. After environmental affairs, we'll request transport, and then we go back to that sequence.
Thank you, Honorable Chair of Chairs. Conservation and Environmental Affairs Portfolio Committee Performance Report. My apology with my voice. I am having a fever. I'm hoping to get through, but I will read the report. Performance for the second quarter as of 1st of July to the 30th of September 2025. The Portfolio Committee on Conservation and Environmental Affairs is a legislature committee established in terms of the provision of the rules, standing rules of the legislature. It is accountable to the Committee of Chairpersons, Office of the Chairperson of Committees, and the House. The committee exists in order to deliver on the following constitutional mandate assigned to the legislature: performing oversight over the environmental affairs function of the Department of Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs and its entity SMVLO, KZN Wildlife. 2, lawmaking. 3, involvement of public in committee and legislative processes. The objective of the report is to provide an account to the Committee of Chairpersons of the work done by the Conservation and Environmental Affairs Portfolio Committee during the second quarter of 25-26. That is the 1st to the 30th, 1st of July to the 30th of September 2025, as guided by its annual oversight plan. We have considered our APP for 25-26 and the budget. The committee considered the APP for Conservation and Environmental Affairs on the 24th of July 2025. Thereafter, the committee adopts its report on the same day and table it for the debate in the House on the 25th of July 2025. The committee considered the 2025-26 first quarter performance report of the department and SMVLO on the 15th of August 2025. Prior to the consideration of the reports, the committee received a comprehensive briefing by the support staff highlighting the critical areas to be focused on when engaging the department and its entity on their reports. The committee undertook an oversight visit to Newcastle and Danhauser landfill sites on the 30th of September 2025. The main aim of the oversight visit was to ensure compliance on the landfill sites with the environmental regulations. We have on the tracking of resolution, the committee tracked its resolution, and both the department and SMVLO present their responses during the meeting held on the 15th of August 2025. Department and SMVLO also submit their responses to the Finance Portfolio Committee and SCOPA resolution at the same meeting. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Transport.
Greetings, Chair. With your permission, can I take you through the Department of Transport's report as requested by the Honorable Mapisa?
Department.
Portfolio. Thank you for that rude interruption and correction. Thanks, Chair. In its 2025-2026 AOP, the committee adopted the following priorities. It's the catalytic projects, provision of development of roads in rural communities, provision of learner transport, rehabilitation of flood-damaged transport infrastructure that stimulates economic growth, a transportation system that is an enabler for economic and social empowerment, transportation safety and an enabler of service delivery, accelerated transformation so that there is greater economic participation of target groups, river bridges with special focus in rural areas, road safety awareness, Transports Month, and the festive season budget expenditure. Consideration of quarterly performance reports. Departmental quarterly reports are a key part of the legislative oversight function. They enable early identification of challenges such as budget variance or failure to meet targets. During the period under review, the committee considered the first quarter reports of the Department of Transport. Prior to the actual meeting with the department, the committee held a virtual briefing meeting on 12 September 2025. The senior research and the budget and content analysts presented analysis reports to empower committee members. Deliberations on the first quarter financial and non-financial report took place at a meeting held on 23 September 2025. The APP identifies the performance indicators and targets that the department will seek to achieve in the upcoming budget year. Through robust oversight, the committee monitors departmental performance against the APP. It's thus critical for the committee to monitor the budget to ensure that financial, operational, and capital plans that were developed and approved for implementation as part of the budget are being implemented. Following revisions on VAT announced by the National Minister of Finance, the department had to relook at their 2025-2026 budgets and APPs that had previously been tabled in April 2025. DOT indicated that they've made no significant changes to the APP and the budget. On oversight visits, oversights are very crucial mechanisms of committee oversight work. They allow the committee to gather first-hand information, test the authenticity of reports, and identify areas needing improvement. Through site visits, the committee was able to evaluate whether the department was achieving its goals, spending money as intended, and delivering services to people as promised. During the period under review, the committee undertook 2 oversight visits. The visits were parts of the committee's FIS. Members were briefed on pre-visit reports to each site by the senior researcher prior to the actual visit. The table depicts on engagement with departmental stakeholders. Certain stakeholders are directly involved in the delivery of services to communities. The committee needs to be kept abreast of project developments that are not directly implemented by the department but still affect communities. To this end, the committee convened a meeting where the following stakeholders made presentations. There was eThekwini and Sanral. On tracking the implementation of resolutions, the committee tracks implementation of resolutions on a quarterly basis. And on the adoption of committee reports, the work of committees culminates in tabling reports in the House. It's thus critical that all committee reports get adopted and tabled in the House. On the 1st of August 2025, the committee convened a special meeting to adopt outstanding committee documents. There were 3 documents that were adopted. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Let's go to education, followed by finance and health.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I am reporting on the Portfolio Committee Performance Report for the period 1st of July to the 30th of September 2025. As the way of introduction, Chairperson, the Portfolio Committee on Education, it's a legislature committee established in terms of the provision of Rule 195 of the Standing Rules of the Legislature. It is accountable to this committee and yourself, Chairperson, and the House. The committee exists to deliver on the following constitutional mandate assigned to the legislature. 1, performing oversight over the KwaZulu-Natal Department of Education, lawmaking, and public involvement, which is number 3, and participation in the committee and the legislative processes. The objective, the purpose of the report is to provide an account to the Committee of Chairperson of the work done by the Education Portfolio Committee during the period under review on the consideration of the 2025-2026 APP and the budget following the KZN MTF budget that was withdrawn by the MEC for Finance. The committee conducted again the hearing on the APP and the budget. The Department of Education, Not Health, retabled the 2025-2026 APP and the budget on the committee meeting held on the 22nd of July 2025. Thereafter, the committee budget report was compiled and adopted on the 23rd of July 2025. The committee tabled its report in the House during the vote 5, not vote 7, budget sitting held on the 29 July 2029. We really apologize for those typos, Chair. Consideration of the quarterly reports. The committee was briefed on the 2024-2025 fourth quarter report, of which is the non-financially and financial analysis by the senior researcher and the budget and the content advisor in the briefing meeting, which was scheduled for the 12th of August prior to the meeting with the department. The committee considered the 2024-2025 fourth quarter report on the 12th of July 2025. The committee was briefed on the 2025-2026 first quarter report, non-financial and financial analysis by the senior researcher and the budget and content advisor in the briefing meeting on the 12th of September. The committee considered the 2025-2026 first quarter report, financial and non-financial, on the 23rd of September 2025. On school functionality monitoring program, which was the follow-up visit in preparation for the KwaZulu-Natal Legislature school functionality monitoring follow-up visit, the committee had a visual meeting to adopt the concept document on the 22nd of July 2025. Previously, all members of the legislature used to be deployed to different districts in the province. However, due to financial constraint and cost-saving measures, the institution delegated the program to the members of the Education Portfolio Committee as the mandate structure to oversee the service delivered performance of the Department of Education in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The program was undertaken in 4 days between the end of July and the end of August through the whole program. The committee members were allocated into 2 teams. Each team was supported by the senior researcher and the coordinator. Each team had consistent team leader through the program. The school functionality monitoring program follow-up visit were scheduled as per the attached table. There was team 1 and team 2. And we had 4 days that we used, which was the 7th of August, the 30th of July, 7th of August, 28th of August, and the 29th of August. Then team 1 undertook their follow-up visit in 2 schools in Pinetown. Also team 1, their follow-up visit in Zululand in 2 schools and added 1 school from King Tejwayo. 2 schools in Ugu and 2 schools in Utukela. Then team 2 undertook their visit in 2 schools in Ilembe, 2 schools in Umkhanyakote, 2 schools in Herigwala, and 2 schools in Umzinyati. On attendance of Finance Portfolio Committee hearing on the 2024-2025 unaudited closeout for vote 5, which is education. The committee members attended the 2024-25 unaudited closeout hearing of the Finance Portfolio Committee for vote 5 on the 15th of August. Tracking of resolutions. The committee tracked its resolution and the department presented responses during the committee meetings held on the 12th of August and on the 23rd of September 2025. In closing, Chairperson, the committee has been allocated a 2.5 hour slot in afternoons, which impacts very negatively in the committee to do its work. So we are pleading with the Office of the Chairperson of Committees to reconsider this allocation because it impacts very negatively, taking into account how unique is the Department of Education. When we decide to do other oversight during our slot, it impacts because some of the members do sit on other portfolio committees. Say, for instance, we want to do an oversight in Herigwala and the other team is here in the legislature and we have to do that oversight starting from 2:30. It's so difficult for the portfolio committee. So we are pleading for the office of the chair of committees to consider that. In conclusion, Chairperson, despite the shortage of slots, the committee achieved most of its targets for the second quarter of the current financial year as per annual oversight plan. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chairperson. The Committee of Finance considered the 2025-26 quarterly performance report of the Treasury on the 12th of August 2025. Prior to the consideration of this report, the committee researcher conducted a comprehensive briefing to all members based on the analysis conducted on the report from Treasury. The MEC for Finance tabled the 24-25 unaudited closeout report, performance report, on the 12th of August, and that was followed by the comprehensive briefing by the provincial treasury officials. The committee subsequently conducted hearings with selected departments and public entities from the 15th to the 22nd of August 2025 and tabled a report which was debated in the House on the 25th of September 2025. On the FIS, the committee, having undertaken FIS visits in June, adopted a report thereon on the 2nd of September and submitted it for tabling in the House. On the committee empowerment, the Finance Portfolio Committee Chairperson, together with 3 other members of the chairpersons, led by the chairpersons of committees, attended a conference of the African Network of Parliamentary Budget Offices held in Abuja in Nigeria from the 21st to the 22nd of September. This activity was part of benchmarking exercise on the KZN Money Bill amendment procedures and related matters bill, which is currently before the Finance Portfolio Committee. More benchmarking exercises are to be undertaken in the next quarter. Following the debate on an adoption of the committee report on the 25th-26th provincial budget by the House on the 25th of July, the committee tracked and received responses to resolution incorporated in the report. Thank you, Chairperson.
Greetings, Chairperson. I wish to table my report as follows. I think it is a given understanding that we are established in terms of Standing Rule 195, which is accountable to the chairpersons of committees. Our purpose and is outlaid in the report. The objective is the report to the Chairperson's Portfolio Committee for the period 1 July to 30th September, as guided by our AOP. With regards to the adoption of the 25-26 AOP, this was presented by the support team. The committee was given the opportunity to make inputs, and the committee adopted this on the 1st of August 2025. With regards to the consideration of the 25-26 APPN budget, following the KZN MTEF budget that was withdrawn by the MEC for Finance, the committee conducted again the hearing of the APPN budget. The Department of Health retabled the 25-26 APPN budget, and the committee held a meeting on the 22nd of July. Thereafter, the committee budget and report was compiled and adopted on the 23rd of July. The committee tabled its report in the House during vote 7, excuse me, during the budget sitting on the 29th of July. Consideration of our quarterly reports, the committee was briefed on the 24-25 fourth quarter report, including the non-financials and financials. Analysis at a virtual meeting was held on the 1st of August. The committee considered the 24-25 fourth quarter report on the 12th of September 2025. The committee considered the the 25-26 first quarter report, financial and non-financials, on the 12th of September 2025. Oversight meetings. The committee conducted oversight meetings where the committee invited the Provincial Traditional Health Practitioners Committee, and there was an issue related to the Ulundi relocation complaints that the committee had heard. The committee took a resolution to engage directly with the concerned stakeholders to better understand challenges, proposals, and developments that will impact the people of KwaZulu-Natal and a way forward on both of these. With regards to oversight visits, the committee conducted an oversight visit to the Parkreni Forensic Pathology Services in Scottburgh and the Kloof Clinic on the 19th of September. The aim of the oversight visit was prompted by the number of complaints received by the committee relating to the poor conditions pertaining to infrastructure and backlogs in these facilities. Then the 2025 Health Functionality Monitoring Program. In preparations for the KZN Legislature 25 Health Functionality Monitoring Program, the committee had a special meeting to adopt the concept document on the 17th of July. The committee, in conjunction with the Office of the Speaker, facilitated the 25 Health Functionality Program, which took place on the 2nd and 3rd of September 2025 in all 11 districts. The focus on the assessment and analysis was on analysis on the emergency medical services. Attendance of Finance Portfolio Committee. The members attended the 24-25 unaudited closeout hearing of the Finance Portfolio Committee for Vote 7, which is held on the 15th of August 2025. Tracking of resolutions. The committee tracked resolutions during its committee meetings as per the agenda. There is a slight challenge with this, and we bring it under challenges. The Portfolio Committee had postponed two monthly meetings with the departments as the dates clashed with cabinet programs and activities. The committee had lost committee records due to data being lost by the acting committee coordinator's laptop that impacted negatively on the oversight role of the committee. And information regarding this was submitted to the department, as well as we had corresponded. It's not here, Chairperson, but we had corresponded with yourself in this regard, and that recovery process is underway. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, before I read my report, Chair, I would like to join the Honorable Speaker and Boyce in expressing our condolences to the Lamini family who lost one of their twins in Durban in the Homey building, and the other one is seriously injured. And also appreciate the solidarity shown by the people of KwaZulu-Natal, particularly those around Durban, in their peaceful demonstration on that particular matter. On the Portfolio Committee report, Chair, the Portfolio on Human Settlements hereby tables the report. As part of the Portfolio's duty to be accountable to the Committee of Chairpersons, the objective of this report is to give an account of the work done by the committee thus far. The period that the report focuses on is from the 1st of July 2025 to the 30th of September. The report attempts to zoom in on critical items that are at the core of the function of the committee. Owing to the reintroduction of the DORA, as well as the Provincial Appropriation Bill, it became incumbent upon the committee to reconsider the departmental's APP and budget. The committee invited the department to table its 2025-2026 APP and budget on the 24th of July. During its briefing prior to the meeting, the committee had been advised by the senior research and budget analyst that there were no material changes to the department's APP and budget. This was also confirmed by the department in its tabling of the 25-26 APP and budget. Taking this into account, the committee voted in support of the department's voted in support by a simple majority. The committee budget report was also adopted by the committee on the 24th of July 2025. On the 6th of August, the committee held its meeting to consider the department's fourth quarter report on the 2024-2025 financial year. It should be noted that this late consideration of the fourth quarter was a result of the committee not able to secure a slot due to the busy schedule of the legislature. On the 15th of August, the committee had its meeting to consider the department's first quarter report. As per the norm, the committee had received the analysis report on the financial and non-financial performance of the department during the first quarter. Resolutions on stalled projects, the Tubaletu project. It's important to indicate in this report that the committee, in its concerted effort to eradicate the scourge of stalled projects across the province, it took a resolution emanating from its previous oversight visits to make it a standing item in its meetings. Go to this resolution, the committee, in its first meeting of the first quarter, it received an update on the progress made with the Tubaletu project and other projects. Although some progress is made, it remains the committee's firm view and belief that a lot still needs to be done to eradicate stalled housing projects in the province. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Chair, and greetings to your good self and other chairpersons of committees. I hereby present Sports, Arts and Culture Portfolio Committee, second quarter, July to September performance report. In its 25-26 AOP, the committee adopted the following priorities: social cohesion and moral regeneration strategy, building a united and cohesive society, improving participation in sports, arts and culture platforms, good governance and fighting corruption, revival of school sports, transformation in sports, implementation of recreation programs, engagement with stakeholders in the arts and sports, capacitation of arts practitioners, monitoring infrastructure projects, new and existing infrastructure, and infrastructure transfers, job creation through sports, arts and culture, and creative industry SMMEs, support and EPWP, promote of active and healthy lifestyle, observation of national and provincial significant dates. Consideration of quarterly performance reports. During the period under review, the committee considered the first quarter report of the department. A briefing meeting was held on the 30th of September 2025, wherein the researcher and the budget and content advisor presented financial and non-financial analysis reports of the department's performance. On consideration of the 2025-26 APP and budget, the annual performance plan identifies the performance indicators and targets that the department will seek to achieve in the upcoming budget year. Through robust oversight, the committee monitors departmental performance against the APP. It is thus critical for the committee to monitor the budget to ensure that financial, operational, and capital plans that were developed and approved by implementation as part of the budget process are being implemented. The budget and APP analysis reports were developed by support staff and circulated to the committee for the purpose of empowerment. The committee engaged the department on the draft 2025-26 APP and budget on its first meeting on 22 July 2025. The budget was supported by the majority of members. The committee adopted the budget report in a virtual meeting held on the 23rd of July 2025. The chairperson tabled the budget report in the House on the 25th of July 2025. On oversight visits. Oversight visits are a very important part of committee oversight work, since they allow committees to directly observe the service delivery and identify issues on the ground. This promotes accountability, increases transparency, and protects citizens. AMAFA and Research Institute is the Provincial Heritage Resources Authority for KwaZulu-Natal. The entity is funded by the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. AMAFA further reports on its work to the Portfolio Committee. Through site visits, the committee was able to verify the work of AMAFA on the ground and whether it is delivering services to the people as promised. The committee conducted an oversight visit to AMAFA heritage sites in the Zululand district on Friday, the 19th of September 2025. And following are the sites that we visited: Ulundi Cultural Village, Umuzi Bush Camp, Kwateza Caves, Spirit of Emakosini Monument, Grave of King Senzangakhona, Umgungundlovu Dingane Royal Kraal. Resolutions tracking. The implementation of resolutions taken in committee meetings and sector parliaments must be followed up to ensure accountability. This process strengthens the committee's role and drives improvement in the performance of the department. The resolutions of the first quarter, April to June, were submitted to the department for response. Implementation of the resolutions was tracked in the meeting held on the 30th of September 2025. Using the resolutions register, the department has adequately responded to committee resolutions. On focused intervention study, FIS, the committee senior researcher presented the concept document for the 2025-26 FIS in a briefing meeting held on the 30th of September 2025. The title for the 2025 FIS is Assessing and Monitoring KZN Sports Transformation. The committee adopted the FIS concept as presented. Conclusion, Chair. The committee is proud of its performance thus far since it has achieved most of the targets set for the second quarter of the current financial year. Thank you.
COGTA, then Social Development and Public Works.
Good morning, Chairperson. Now that you've seen me, may I proceed with my camera off?
Yes. Honorable Naya.
Sorry, my apologies, Chair. As per our oversight mandate as the COGTA Portfolio Committee, to monitor both financial and non-financial performance, following the retabling of the appropriation bill, the committee met to reconsider the department's 2025-2026 financial budget and annual performance plan on the 22nd of July. The committee budget report was compiled, adopted, and tabled in the House on the 25th of July 2025. The committee considered the 2025-26 first quarter on the 12th of August 2025. We also held several Section 132 engagements, namely in the Mzanyati District Municipality, in the Indumeni Local Municipality, the Mzumbe Local Municipality, Mdoni Local Municipality, and the Nongoma Local Municipality. Following a massive outcry regarding water challenges in the province, the committee took a resolution to invite the department together with the INGCUGCE Water Board, eThekwini Municipality, and the Ilembe District Municipality, where we engaged with them in order to get a better understanding of the water challenges and what is being done. In terms of resolutions, tracking, and correspondence, the committee resolutions are tracked and follow-ups are applied by the committee in every meeting. And we also keep a correspondence register of letters that are written to the committee and dealt with, and our correspondence with the department and the MEC's office as well. The members of the committee felt that there were some gaps while scrutinizing departmental reports. Therefore, it was resolved that capacity workshops was of importance. So there were 2 workshops conducted by the committee support team and the Department of COGTA. The focus areas were understanding COGTA finances and budget cycle, overview of the legislative framework applicable to COGTA, overview of local government legislation, including the Local Government Municipal Systems Act, understanding Section 106 investigation processes, and as well as a brief overview of the traditional leadership legislation. And there are several other workshops in the pipeline as well. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Social Development Portfolio Committee Performance Report for July 2025 to September 2025. The objective of this report is to provide an account of work done by Social Development Portfolio Committee during the period under review as per annual oversight plan. Guided by the Constitution and the standing rules of the Legislature, committees must scrutinize departmental reports to see whether the funds that were allocated to them have been spent in line with their strategic plans. The subject report on consideration of the 2025 and 2026 draft appropriation and budgets. After budget was retabled in May 2025, then the committee received a presentation from Social Development Department, of which there were no changes from the previous budget that was tabled in March. The committee considered the department's final 2025-26 budget and annual performance plan on the 22nd of July 2025. The committee budget report was compiled, adopted and tabled in the House on the 29th of July 2025. Report on the quarterly performance reports. Consideration of the quarterly reports, fourth quarter 2024-25. The 2024-25 fourth quarter was submitted late by department. Therefore, there were no briefing prior to the meeting. The analysis was circulated to members. The department presents the report on the committee and engagement was done. The committee considered 2024-25, the fourth quarter, during the meeting held on the 22nd of July. B, consideration of quarterly reports, first quarter 2025-2026. In preparation of the meeting, the analysis was done and the portfolio committee received briefing from the support team. The department presented the first quarter 25-26 performance report on financial and non-financials before the committee and the deliberation was done. The committee considered the 2025-26 first quarter on the 12th of August 2025. Portfolio committee meeting on the 23rd of September 25. The committee meeting that was scheduled for the 23rd of September 2025 did not take place as the department was not available due to other work commitments. The meeting was subsequently postponed. Signed by Honorable Dlamini.
Public Works.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Greetings to you and our members. I'm going straight to introduction. This report is an account of the activities of the Portfolio Committee of Public Works covering the period of 1 July to 30 September 2025. The focus is mainly on the critical items which have driven the work of the committee during the period under review. Consideration of final 2025-2026 APP and budget, the division of revenue bill and the provincial appropriate bill, which has been withdrawn on the first quarter, were reintroduced. The outcome of this reintroduction was the resumption of the consideration of the department as 2025-2026 APP and budget. On the 22nd of July 2025, the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure presented before the committee its 2025-26 APP and budget for the committee consideration and adoption. The presentation of the APP and the budget was preceded by the briefing of the committee during the members were taken through the APP and budget analysis report. In the briefing by the committee, the senior researcher and the budget analysis, the committee was assured that there had been no changes in the resubmitting 2025 and 2026 APP budget of the department. This in fact was confirmed by the MEC and the HOD of the department when they tabled the financial 2025 and 2026 APP and the budget therefore, and the budget before the committee. Having considered this, the committee voted in favor of the final 2025-26 APP and budget by a simple majority. The committee budget report was adopted by the committee on the 23rd of July 2025. For committee oversight visit, on the 12th of August 2025, the committee had an oversight visit in the Zululand district. The project that were visited were the NNG Royal Palace project and the NNG Hospital renovations project. This was followed up oversight visit this was a follow-up oversight visit as the committee had visited this project in November 2024. The follow-up visit was as a result of the committee resolution to monitor progress in these projects. The committee was pleased with the progress made at NNG Royal Palace. The construction had proceeded accordingly to plan and in line with the set time frames. The project was going to be ready by the time of the annual Umkhosi. Unfortunately, all of us, we know what happened. The committee was concerned by in the relations of NNG Hospital resolution project. The committee was concerned by the delays in the completion caused late on non-payment of the contractor. These were other issues with the project in terms of workmanship that needed attention. The committee then resolved to escalate this issue to the MSc in writing. In addition, the committee resolved to make the NNG Hospital project a standing item on the agenda of each meeting in order to receive monthly progress reports. On the 19th of September 2025, the committee had another visit to the Ndwedwe EMS base. This oversight visit has been necessitated by the fundings and the resolution of the multi-party delegation during the health functionality visit. There had been a day of observation which necessitated the intervention by the committee. It had transpired that there were challenges within the contractor of wash bays at the EMS base and the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure happened on the implementing agent, hence the committee oversight visit. Quarter performance reports on the 12th September, as per the committee allocated a slot, the committee had a briefing on the department first quarter performance report. The committee researcher and the budget analysis took the committee through their analysis in the department non-financial and first quarter reports. So that is a report, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was the last report, but there was a question. Yes, there is an issue that was raised by Honorable Ndebele. Mr. Nzuza.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The question by Honorable Ndebele was with regards to the tracking of resolutions. In the House, the chair of committees presents a report that aggregates the resolutions that have been tracked by committees. And the report was presented at the last sitting. It reflected on the tracking of resolutions by committees in as far as there had been submission to the office of the chair. The cluster within which the committees economic development, agriculture, human settlements had not submitted up until the report was signed by the chairperson, and it's on the day of the sitting that those reports were received. And they did reflect that those committees did track. However, at the time the report was already in the House, I did raise the matter with the cluster manager because it has to do with the timeous submission. And moving forward, we will not be experiencing that challenge. The other issue that chairpersons raised from the Committee on Education is the allocation of slots such that committees become unable to utilize some of the slots for oversight visits. We have proposed for consideration by the Program Committee a calendar that prescribes the slots for oversight visits. And we trust that that might, to some extent, alleviate the challenges moving forward. However, that is still to be considered by the Program Committee. We had also noted that in our implementation of the programming principles, since this is the first year, we were monitoring also where the challenges are coming up, and that is one area that we have tried to propose a solution to. The issue of the loss of records in respect of the health committee records, those records that were not recoverable are the ones that relate to the communication that was in the computer of the acting acting coordinator, which had not been shared with the other support team. The laptop did go to our ICT unit to try and recover the documents. Other documents were recovered, the submissions, the quarterly reports, and so on. But it's only the ones that have not been shared with the other colleagues. And we did receive the report regarding that. But moving forward, Chair, in our plan as committees for next year, I have planned such that we also are going to be purchasing the external drive for each of the coordinators to be able to back up some of the documents to the external drive, in addition to saving the documents on the cloud. But the cloud, it does carry a level of risk in terms of the external cyber attacks, hence the solution of the external drive, which each coordinator will be keeping. No, Chair, I think those are the issues that were raised as part of presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chair, if I may.
My hand is up, Chair.
My hand as well, Chair.
Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. I want to speak on what has, I believe, also Honorable Ndebele is coming with a follow-up from. I want to get clarity. I hear the internal HR-related management in terms of delegated powers there, but chairpersons of committees are also having a political responsibility. And when the report has gone to the House, and it is now found that it was not a true reflection, probably what can be done from the side of the committee that coordinates us, and also in terms of using the available framework to rectify that. The reason, Chair, I'm checking that they will correct the action of the person out there, but importantly, the report that is on record currently is not a true reflection, is also in terms of expectations from committees, be it through the sector oversight model, the roles, and everything else, showing that there is no work done by 3 committees. And when you look at these committees, Chair, I'm not saying there are committees that are not important, but when you look at the 3 committees that are mentioned, they also play a vital role in development of the province. And as it stands, it seems as if we have not done or tracked resolutions in that regard. When it comes to the development of the economy, agriculture and rural development, human settlement, so to say. So for me, it is a worry if we may be taken through what will happen to rectify that, because the AG will also look into that. But also the people who vote for us will be looking at that and seeing that these chairpersons are not doing what is expected of them. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Honorable Ndebele.
No, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Chair, and greeting to the to chairpersons. I think I'm fully covered by, I must add, by my beautiful speaker, eloquently so. Thank you.
Thank you so much. On this one, what we'll do on the next sitting, we will table and submit the corrected one. Honorable Ndebele, and that's how we'll address this one. Okay, let's move to second quarter performance report. Those are the reports, honorable members. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't hear Mshazi responding to what was raised by the speaker on the omission of the meeting of the Multiparty Women's Caucus. How are they going to deal with it? He never responded to that.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. In terms of ensuring that the final record of the House is accurate, the Chair at the next sitting will retable the report that was tabled at the last sitting with an indication of the update, so that the latest version is the correct one that takes into account the information that was received after the report had been circulated in the House. Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. Apologies. I assumed the Chair was talking about the parts that were left. The Speaker did, Chair, indicate that after this meeting, we will be working to look at the alternative slot. And she committed that the Women's Caucus must be found at that slot to compensate. We will work on it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Whilst on the reports, Honorable Chairpersons, let's also remember that to submit our committee reports, to table them, especially the quarterly reports. Those who are behind or who have outstanding, let's try on the last sitting to make sure that we all submit table our reports so that it reflects accordingly. Thank you very much. Then let's move to second quarter performance report. Mr. Kumalo.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. For the second quarter, we have we have 15 targets under Program 2, but for the quarter under review, there are 9 targets that were due. And of the 9, 1 of them was missed. And the one that was missed, Honorable Chair and Chairpersons, is the tabling of the report on multi-party visits. That report is used as a vehicle of monitoring the implementation of NDP and PGDP in the province. The late submission of that is due to the retabling of the budget. In terms of our programming, it had a ripple effect. So the multi-party visits actually happened in July. Under normal circumstances, they would have happened earlier, so that the whole month of July is used for compilation of the report, processing the report, taking it through the committee, and then tabling it. So because of that late execution of the multi-party visits, so we missed that target. However, that report has since been tabled, so it will reflect in the third quarter. So we should be able to recover on this indicator. And then, Chair, most of the reports that the chairpersons did indicate are actually summarized in my report, but I want to highlight this point here on that our APP does have a target that talks to the implementation of medium-term development projects, and these projects are specifically stated in the popularly known book as the Green Book. That table, if you go to page 15, there is a table that lists these projects, and these projects are also allocated to departments. So from an oversight point of view, our annual oversight plans should have these MDTP projects as priorities. At the end of the year, as a legislature from our APP, we would want to table in the House progress that has happened in the implementation of these MDTP projects. I'll ask my colleague here to share that table with you. It indicates which department has what project and the amounts of monies that have been allocated. I think the one that I've asked my colleague to share may not show the budget, but if you go to page 15 and 16 of our Green Book, those budgets are actually stated there. It's important that maybe during the course of our committee meetings and oversights, we focus on this item, because at the end of the year, we would want to reflect on that. Secondly, the AG is interested in these strategic projects that the province has budgeted for. So they would also want us to reflect on that item. So we say request through you, Chair, that we put a particular focus on that item. The second one relates, Chair, to the responsiveness of our departments in terms of submitting reports. Are they submitting reports? That's number one, compliance. Number two, are they submitting in time? If they have submitted late, let's monitor that and report that. At the end of the year, again, we need to reflect that and table a report in the House on which departments are compliant and are submitting the reports in terms of especially to assist us when it comes to the analysis that our researchers, our budget analysts need to make. If the reports are coming slightly late, their quarterly reports are coming late to the department, to the committee, it becomes difficult for our researchers to do a proper analysis and give a proper feedback to yourselves and the committees. So that part is very important that we monitor. It is also monitored under the sector oversight, under sector audits. The last one, I'm glad that I'm hearing this coming through in the reports of chairpersons, the issue of resolutions, registers, and monitoring, that we are actually making follow-ups on those resolutions. But what we are asking mainly through you, Chair, is the portfolio of evidence for whatever departments have said that we, in terms of this resolution, we have gone this far. We need a portfolio of evidence that reflects exactly what they have said, because we'll need that information also to submit to our auditing process. Lastly, on my last slide is just to give a feedback, Chair, that in the last quarter, our performance has gone through our internal audit and they've confirmed our 100% achievement, but they did make a finding in terms of the misalignment between the quarterly report and the APP. It was mainly around how we named the indicators in the report as opposed to how it was named in the APP, but that has since been corrected. And the second quarter performance is underway right now in terms of being reviewed by internal audit. The compliance audit on performance information is also underway. I think in the next meeting, we'll be able to reflect on how we have fared in that area. In terms of closing the year 2024-25, we did get a clean audit report, and I must thank you, chairs, especially in terms of submitting, ensuring that the supporting evidence is submitted in time, and the AG did find no findings in that area. Thank you, Chairperson. I think, yeah, that was my last slide. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any comments on that? So on the second quarter performance report? No comments? Okay. Let's move to the committee's expenditure report. Dr. Pengu.
And honorable members and speakership, the report that is projected is per different committees. The total budget for this financial year for committees is 90 million. We are reporting as at the end of September, which is 6 months into the financial year. So if you prorate that budget for 6 months, we are looking at about 9.5 million. As we end half year end, the total expenditure for committees was 13.1 million, which was 5.8 million over budget of 9.5 for a half year end, which means for the first 6 months of the financial year, we overspent our budget with 19 million when we talk about straight line. And then if we project using the basis of straight line as well, we project that by the end of the financial year, we will overspend this particular budget by 40%. Chair, I should mention that the impact or the aftermath of budget cuts, they are still felt by legislature, so are committees as well, as our budget for committees was reduced during budget cuts. Chair, I must also mention that if we carry on with the current budget or expenditure trends, we will overspend this budget by 40%. However, Chair, core business have sent us the list of activities that are to be undertaken from October until the end of the financial year. So we are costing these, and then I think on the next meeting we will know exactly whether we'll overspend this budget or not. But as things stand now, if the current spending trend persists, the projection is that we're gonna overspend this budget by 40%. That's a report, Chair. I'll take questions if there are any. Thank you.
What? Any comment, questions? Aweko. No, thank you very much. Thanks for all the reports. Thank you, Honorable Chairpersons, for your time attending this meeting. Bala and all the senior officials present here. Siyabonga Phakamile usihlelele umhlangano. Umhlangano wethu usuya ngasemaphethelweni bekuyiphuzu leliya lokugcina ebesixoxa ngaphansi kwalo. Umhlangano wethu sesiyawuvala la phansi bathi last time nakhala ngokuthi abanibekelanga okusula umlomo, bathi ke i-lunch will be served in the dining hall. Now the lunch is ready. Thank you very much. We will see you. Yes, sorry.
Long live the chair. What about with Laban?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Before we leave, Mr. Nzuza has just reminded me that we lost one of the officials here, Mr. Caesar Ngom. Maybe if we can just observe a moment of silence for him. May his soul rest in peace. Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Long live the chair.